Hello and welcome to Unshakable with Lovell Casiero. I am delighted that you are here. And today we're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going into a conversation with my uncle Larry Whittington. And Uncle Larry has been a big part of helping me get the studio set up, and we happened to turn the recorder on the other day and the camera on and have a discussion about how you can teach salvation with seashells. So salvation, not through a seashell, but from God, but showing how God brings us into the world and walks along beside of us. I know you're going to enjoy this sweet conversation with my Uncle Larry. I like to call him Unc. So join Unc and I. We're going to be right back and we'll get started.
I see hate through the pain. I see light in the rain. Dreams of brighter days. Tell me what you're thinking. I have hope in my spirit. Flames of love in my heart. Baby, let me tell you something. I'm about to dance. You realized you're not in control. Once again, tell you once again. Hallelujah. I'm on my way to be the best version of me. Mama knows how to wake you up to dance. Mama knows you're not a mama knows how to wake you up to dance. Mama knows how to wake up to dance. Mama knows you're not a mama knows how to wake you up to dance.
When I first moved to the beach and I started collecting shells, people like to pick up perfect shells, right? They like the ones that are absolutely perfect. This one is really perfect because I bought it. I didn't find it in the sand on the beach. But this is how I see us when we come into the world. Perfect. God has perfectly designed us and designed us to be an individual. Like there's no two creations in people that God duplicates, right? He does something different. But the one commonality is that everybody is perfect. But then life starts happening to you. So I was collecting perfect seashells. I had a big glass jar and they were all perfect, and as perfect as you can get picking up on the beach. And then I always wanted to find a nice conch shell, but that's really hard to find at my beach. And It's especially hard to find without them being all cracked up and broken.
Yeah.
So I started picking up the broken ones. And this part of the journey, as the seashell represents the children of God, is when life starts doing what life does. And sometimes you get a little crack in the exterior. It can be health problems. It can be heartbreak. It can be trials, tribulation. It can be sin. It could be bad choices. It could be a lot of things. And some people get really broken, like really, really broken. And then other people feel like they're down to nothing. Like this is almost nothing left of this shell. And so there's all these different varieties of the brokenness in people's lives as they journey through their life and life doing what life does. So I'm now collecting the perfect seashells, and I have a whole thing of the broken seashells. I still pick these up every time I see them, and I think of all the souls that need prayer and need some repair and here's the magic word, some grace in their life. And I also find, Uncle Larry, I find that when we are giving out grace, the one person that we hold back on grace is ourselves.
You're right.
We're the last person to offer grace to ourselves. And so often on Unshakable, I'm actually reminding the guest to give themselves grace, or there's a message in the story of the guest that makes me remind the listeners that grace is a gift from God.
And there's nothing wrong with us trying to fix ourselves through Christ, you know. If we are broken, if it's finances, marriage, sickness, or whatever, we work on those things through grace to try to mend them back together.
And I was interviewing someone this morning. We were talking about Jesus on the cross. And we were talking about forgiveness. We weren't talking about grace. We were talking about forgiveness. And what he said at the time he was on the cross about, there is, forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. So that forgiveness that Jesus represented on the cross turned into grace that comes from Calvary. And I have always said this, and I go back to a meeting I was having with Father Bob Nugent one time, and something awful had happened in the news with a pedophile situation, and we were discussing it. And he said to me, "Do you think your sins are any less bad than theirs?" And my answer was like, "Yeah, I kind of do." And he said, sin. And what I realized through that conversation is there is no brokenness, no sin, no person that has gone so far astray that the grace from Calvary does not cover them.
But a lot of people feel like they don't deserve grace, and that's the reason they suffer.
That's right.
I'm not worthy of any of this.
That's true. That's true, for sure. So I had a third jar, and now I actually have a big painter's bucket full of these other things I love to pick up on the Carolina shore down here in Surf City. And I call it sea glass. Some of it is glass. Some of it is just like river rock and stone. But the one thing is that I wish you could see it so much closer. This one, when you're finding it and the waves are rolling back, it actually glistens. You know, it shines. But the thing is that each and every one of those, compared to these cracks, are smooth. And so just like the waves made these so smooth and so, you know, polished, that's how grace does us.
That's right.
And polishes us when, you know, we're sinners. I mean,
yeah.
We're all sinners, right?
All have failed.
We have all gone astray,
Yeah.
like sheep. But there is grace that polishes us up, forgiveness, and we become whole again and become and you know, really, Uncle Larry, what happens is we become new because this looks nothing like this. And so this was me coming in the world as a baby. And then, you know, 60 some years later, I am now, I look totally different. I'm so different. But that's like God's love, God's grace, the sacrifice that was made at Calvary. No one is so lost that they can't come back. We can all come back.
But it's almost like when you come in the world like this and we got all these things hanging off of us. And I think that's where we have the broken pieces. And then when all these bad things break off of us, this is what we become.
That's right.
So you take that, it would be this.
Yeah, exactly.
Without all
And
of
this
us
is the
around.
process in between.
That's exactly
This is
right.
the process in between.
Yeah, that's good.
So I have decided, though, since I am now an avid collector of the sea glass, and I have a story I want to tell about that, but I'm an avid collector of sea glass. Like I said, we have a painter's bucket full, almost full, and we're going to work on a second. We're actually doing a little landscaping project and replacing some of the stone that we have with this sea glass. But I've decided I think it's seasonal. Because sometimes you can go out there and you can pick up like 3 bags full. And other times you're lucky if you get a pocket full.
That's it, right.
And it's always when I don't take a bag that it's like 3 bags full laying there. But anyway, my little Maggie dog, she loves walking on the beach and finding sea glass with me. But I want to tell you about a story one day. Lenny and I, you know, when you have hope in this world, you can always count on somebody showing up to try to dash your hope, right? So we were walking down the beach one day, and it was off season, wasn't very crowded. And me and Lenny had a really, really good day. In fact, that day, picking up sea glass, the bag burst, and he had to wait for me to go back and get another bag so we could pick up all our sea glass and get it home. And the woman that came by, we made some contact with this lady that was walking by, and Lenny said, she said, what have you been, he said, oh, and he was so proud of how much sea glass we had picked up, and he said, we're collecting sea glass. And the woman looked in the bag and she goes, that's not sea glass, that's stones. I live at the Outer Banks. Well, the sinner in me wanted to say, well, then why are you here on my beach? But I walked away because you can always count on somebody showing up to dash your hopes. And I just want to tell you, Uncle Larry, that through this journey and all that I have been creating, we're getting ready to publish what, Wes? We're getting ready to publish episode 8, right?
Yeah, 8.
Wow. And we have probably, by the time Monday rolls around, we have at least probably 4 more recordings that haven't been published yet. And people are loving coming on and telling their story of being unshakable. And I'm loving the stories. Every time I hang up from interviewing somebody, I say, who's got it better than me? Like, I've got the best job in the world.
Talking about how people take your joy, it's like with my situation. I've had people come up to me, oh, I know people that's had that before. They never got rid of it, they died, you know, everything else. You don't want to hear that.
Right.
You don't want people coming up giving you sob stories or sad stories about things when you're going through a trial or a sickness or whatever.
Absolutely.
They don't have to say everything's going to be all right. They just say, how are you doing?
Right.
That's all they got to do.
Just checking on you.
Checking on you.
I call almost
But I've
every
had
day.
several people tell me, you'll never get rid of it. It's going to be there forever until you die. So, you know.
You know what I say? If those are the kind of people, you might need new people.
Well, they're not close friends. They're people that I know, but not close
But
friends.
what I wanted to say to you is, you have been like so encouraging. And when others that I would love to, you know, have believed that this journey is coming to fruition, you've been that constant. I know you got this, Lovell, and I just so appreciate that. I mean, we all need that encouragement and people that believe in us. And I hope everybody has someone like you that believes in them as you believe in me.
Well, thank you. And that's the reason I want to be a part of helping you, because when you see somebody that needs help, you offer that help to them. And you do it, you know, not to get glory for it, but to say, hey, I'm here for you for whatever you need.
Well, you've always been here for me. Before you leave the show today, there's something really exciting I want to announce and share with you. I am rolling out the Elevated Life Collective. It is a community centered around coaching, and not just in your professional life, but also in your personal life as well as your spiritual life. I am so excited about this offering and what each of the tiers will bring to those of you who have been looking for something to take you to the next level as a woman. It is for women only, but it is called the Elevated Life Collective because it is my goal, it is my desire, and my vision that it will help you become the woman you were meant to be. If you'd like information, we'll give you the contact information. You can email me at my website. You can email me. Those emails come to me personally. And my email, my website is lovellcasiero.com. Really easy to find. You can contact me through there, and I'll be glad to provide you more information. You don't want to miss this. The Elevated Life Collection coming soon for anybody out there, any woman out there that wants to become the woman you were meant to be. God bless you.
I see hate through the pain. I see light in the rain. Dreams of brighter days. Tell me what you're thinking. I have hope in my spirit, flames of love in my heart. Baby, let me tell you something. I'm about to dance. You realize you're not in control. Once again, tell you once again.